Welcome to Racing Unleashed.
A Racing Unleashed competition.
And if all the cars make it through turn number one, I'll be amazed. Side by side into the turn. Who will come out in front?
Da hinten geht's wild zur Sache. Yeah. Unglaublich.
Was war das für ein Rennen?
This is Racing Unleashed.
Welcome to Monza, and here's your host, Manuel Vendel. Manuel welcomes us to the show out of the elevator where the cars normally come into the motor world. He informs us that today we are in Monza at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza for race 8 in the Racer League competition. Let's have a quick look at the virtual track layout. The legendary Curva Parabolica is turn 11. Turns 1 and 2 are the Variante di Rettifiglia chicane, the scene of many controversial starts to races. Let's jump directly onto the grid. Now, not in picture is 19th on the grid. That's Mike Danner, and he's starting behind. But just ahead, in position 18 on the grid, is a new guest starter for this race because of a win in a German challenge. It's Fabio Unverdrus. Hi Fabio, in the Munich lounge. Tell us, how was your qualifying session?
Erzähl, wie war die Qualifikation?
Schwierig. Ich bin immer noch am struggeln.
Difficult. I'm still struggling and see it as a learning event. I'll see how far I can get today.
Und guck einfach, was ich im Rennen draus machen kann.
It's your first time in these sims, which is always very, very difficult. You are often a very modest person, but tell us honestly, what is your aim? What do you expect from the race? And in which position do you want to finish the race?
The main goal is to arrive without a penalty or an accident, and especially not endanger anyone else or ram them off the track.
Sehr gut, sehr gut, sehr gut. Ja. Da wünschen wir dir natürlich.
And good luck to you. Have fun with your racing. Thank you for taking the time to give us information, especially directly before the race. Position 17 on the grid is Angelo Michael, and he is in the Kemptown Lounge. He qualified with a time of 1:19.941. We continue our journey up the grid, and now to position 16. It's Besnik Mertesi, and he is in the Camp Lounge with a 1:19.813. Alongside him, it's Kevin Abbey. He's in the Kemptown Lounge, and he qualified a 1:19.709. Position 14, Devin Isgrow. He's also in Kemptown, and he has a time of 1:19.649. And in position 13, with a time of 1:19.589, it's Nick Schulte-Wiesemann, and he's in Munich. Nick, let me ask you a question. What is your game plan in general, and especially for the first corner?
Attacking and overtaking straight away in the first corner is perhaps a bit daring as a guest starter. Then at most it crashes. So I try to classify myself and then position myself well for the next corners.
Good luck for you as well. Enjoy your race. Now hopefully we'll see you with a smile on your face after the checkered flag. Another new starter today is Moritz Lerner. He has won several e-racing titles, and that includes the ADAC GT Masters e-racing, Porsche Carrera Cup e-racing, and DTM e-racing. This victory led him to a real racing cockpit in DTM Trophy, where he finished 8th in the championship. My question to him, are you happy with your quali lap and with P12?
A little bit more would still have been possible, but I had little training and little preparation time. I was at the Hockenheimring until tonight, and 12th place is quite good for that.
We are wondering if you have an appointment afterwards with your bank account manager. You're looking very smart in a buttoned-up shirt. Why would that be?
No, this is not a shirt, but a chic polo shirt. This is our esports team clothing.
Okay. Indeed, you are looking very smart indeed. P11 on the grid is Dave Ladamada, last year's winner of the Monza race, and he is in the Chemtal Lounge. We continue to scroll up the grid, and position 10 is Dominik Dedic, and he is in the Zurich Lounge. Alongside him, Ivan Kaufmann, and Ivan is in the Cam Lounge. He's looking very happy and very relaxed in the car, and he is getting ready as he starts alongside Dominik Dedic. So now we move up to position 8, and a bit of a surprise because Roger Marta is starting from a lot further back than we would expect from last year's champion and also championship leader Michael Schmiedl. Roger is in the Chemtal Lounge, and alongside him Wojtek Polesny in Munich, and he starts from position 7. He set a time of 1:19.126. Continuing our journey up the grid, position 6 next, it's Loris Mistretta. He's in Cam. And then, mentioned already, Michael Schmiedl, and he's in Munich. He starts on position 5. His qualifying time was a 1:18.992.
Position 5.
Yeah, Michael, position 5 for the start. You showed us several times that you can advance at the start. How do you feel about today's race?
Let's see what's going to happen in the first corner or also in the second chicane. I think going to be really crucial to survive the first lap, and that's it. I expect a huge pile-up.
We wish you best of luck and maybe see you or hear you later. Good luck for the race.
Thank you.
Ja, dann gehen wir auch direkt weiter. Ihr seht, ich möchte das ein bisschen kurz halten, denn die Fahrer, da ist man schon...
Did you know that Coque Lopez does balance exercises with a bottle? But first, let's talk to Christoph Holstein, who was on the podium in the last 2 races. Tell me, Christoph, how are you feeling about this race? Are you feeling nervous?
Ja, es geht gleich los mit dem Rennen. Nervös? Es war ja wirklich eine absolut Top-Runde von dir.
Ja, war eine gute Runde.
Yes, that was a really strong lap. But who knows what happens next? That can go forward or backward in the race. Let's see.
Wir wünschen dir auf jeden Fall...
So it's good luck to him as well. Christoph Holstein in Zurich starting on position 4. Coque Lopez in Madrid starting on position 5. And lots of action going on in the background. Let's move on up. This is the front row of the grid. We're going to leave Alejandro Sanchez to concentrate on pole position and have a chat to Enrique Maranon.
Enrique, that was an amazing lap, but only P2. Do you think P1 would have been possible, or are you happy with that?
Yes, I think that I could be at the first position, but second position is very good because I'm still at the first row, and I think that it's a better position.
We wish you best of luck for the race and maybe hear you later. So
okay,
good luck.
Thank you.
So here we go, it's race 8 of the Racing Unleashed competition from Monza. 6 red lights are on and the 6 red lights are off. Away we go. 23 laps of racing ahead of us, and it's a poor start for Enrique Maranon. You see him getting swallowed up by the pack, but Alejandro Sanchez is leading into turn 1. Michael Schmiedl and Coque Lopez are crossing the chicane. Schmiedl rejoins and there's a push from Lopez. I think that race control might have something to say about this. So Lopez and Schmiedl have gained from that first cut across the chicane. We're now looking at Dominik Dedic, and he is in 8th place. He has Loris Mistretta and Roger Marta around him. Michael Schmiedl continues in 3rd place. He's got Coque Lopez ahead. and Alejandro Sanchez continues to lead, but we split the screen and focus on Dominik Dedic, currently in 8th place, and he's got to work out how he's going to get past Loris Mistretta. The cars run under the bridge towards the Variante Ascari. This is turns 8, 9 and 10, and a good opportunity as they head into the braking of the chicane, but Dedic gets it all wrong. He's into the gravel trap, he bounces off the fence. He continues on his way, but he has dropped down the order, down now into 16th place. So that's a disaster for Dedic after such a strong opening lap of this race. Enrique Marinon is in 5th place after that very difficult start. He started in 2nd and he dropped back. And it's Alejandro Sanchez who continues to lead, and Marinon also getting it wrong. So under braking, it looks like it's into the turn 1 chicane. That's the Variante de Rettifilo. We said to keep an eye on that spot early on, didn't we? Already the scene of several controversies. So Marinon drops down to P9, not what he had in mind when he qualified on the front row of the grid. On the left-hand side of your picture, we're looking at Michael Schmiedl, and he is running in 3rd place, about 7/10 from the leader, Alejandro Sanchez. And Kevin Aby is on the right-hand side of your picture. He is in 10th place. Devon Isgro is just behind, and he is following Aby's every move, and he wants to get past that car. Just in the background, there was somebody who had a bit of a moment. You saw a car going into the fence, and that looked like Besnik Matezi getting it all wrong. So he drops down to last place in this race. So while we keep an eye on Michael Schmiedl on the left-hand side of the picture, he's running very much on his own. That can't be said for Devon Isgro. He has got traffic all around him, and Kevin Aby just ahead. So Sanchez sets the fastest lap. The race leader is extending his legs at the front. That's 0.850 of a second as we watch Devon Isgro lining up to make a move on Kevin Aby. Into the Variante de Rettifilo they come. Isgro on the inside. He locks a wheel up as they head into the chicane, but he's made the move, and Kevin Aby is relegated to 11th position. But now, as they head towards Curva Grande, Aby's trying to come back. He looks to the outside, but Isgro has him covered off. Under the bridge towards the chicane they come, and Aby's got him. No, he hasn't. Yes, he has. Kevin Aby taking that position back from Isgro. Really good stuff. Now Devon Isgro lining up Kevin Aby. Can he pick up a slipstream as they head towards Lesmo and onto the Curva del Seraglio? And then it'll be the fast run down to Variante Ascari, where there'll be another overtaking opportunity. Under the bridge of the old circuit they go. This is the chance that he's got. So Isgro looks to the inside. Still, Aby has him covered off. Now they head towards the famous Parabolica, taken absolutely flat out. It's Aby ahead of Isgro in this battle for 10th place. Monza always produces great racing. Alejandro Sanchez continues to lead from Coque Lopez, and now he extends that lead to 1.2 seconds. It's Michael Schmiedl that we're looking on the left-hand picture, and he is running in 3rd place. Meanwhile, the battle for 10th continues to rage on. Still, Kevin Aby has Devon Isgro for company. Aby, who started 15th on the grid, Isgro 14th, so Aby's made the best progress. So what has Isgro got up his sleeve to get past the Aby car? It's the battle for 10th place that we are watching. Devon Isgro, he is shadowing Aby's every move, still looking to the left, looking to the right. And now another attack from Isgro. All of this fighting has allowed Moritz Lerner and Nick Schulte-Wiesemann to close in on the duo, so those 4 cars are running very much together on the track. Still, Aby in 10th place ahead of Isgro, Lerner and Schulte-Wiesemann. Into the chicane we come, each driver having to tread very carefully because one mistake, and that's exactly what we see. That's Schulte who goes spinning backwards into the fence. So he got a wheel out onto the dirt and he drops back. You can see him in the background just correcting it and rejoining the race. But now a challenge once again. Isgro is back in front of Aby. And now Lerner also getting involved. So Aby has got Lerner challenging him on the inside along the pit straight. They come in towards the corner. Riding on board with Lerner, you can see the concentration in his eyes towards Prima Variante, and suddenly Lerner has gone as well. He gathers it all up and points it in the right direction, and who's that? That's Devin Isgro. After all that hard work, he collects the fence and tumbles down the order. He's down into P16. So Moritz Lerner also having a lively adventure on that lap. He's got Dave Latamada around him. Dominic Dedic and Kevin Aby up ahead are able to pull away. Moritz Lerner in P13. Dave Latamada has jumped up into 12th. He's taken advantage of all that chaos on that lap. So Moritz Lerner in the queue. We look at Michael Schmiedl in 3rd place. On the right-hand side of the picture, that's a great view. Ahead of him is Koke Lopez. And Lopez not really breaking away. One person who is breaking away though is Alejandro Sanchez. Another fastest lap, a 1:18.918, sees him extend his lead over Lopez by 1.666 seconds. On the left-hand side of the screen, Moritz Lerner getting it all wrong, and he just about corrects it, but Lerner, another driver, tumbling down through the order down into P17, and that was the exit of Curva Parabolica that had caught him out. So Enrique Marinon now on the left-hand side picture, he is running in 9th place. On the right-hand side, it's Michael Schmiedl in 3rd place, and he has Koke Lopez just up ahead of him. Alejandro Sanchez continues to stretch his legs at the front, 1.716. So plenty of drama here at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. All the drivers finding this circuit very challenging. And this is Enrique Marinon. Ahead of him, Roger Marta and Ivan Kaufman. And Marinon just keeping an eye on that battle for 7th place ahead of him. And he's going to be ready if those two drivers get together in any way at all. So Ivan Kaufman in 7th place, Roger Marta just behind, and then Enrique Marinon. We're riding with Wojtek Polesny on the right-hand side. Christoph Holstein just ahead in 4th place. So we're keeping an eye on two battles at the same time. Back to the fight. In 9th place, Enrique Marinon, Roger Marta, Ivan Kaufman up ahead. And that's Wojtek Polesny, who's gone wide. He weaves his way through the polystyrene blocks and he rejoins. He had briefly got ahead of Christoph Holstein for 4th place, but once again it's the Variante de Rettifilo chicane that caught him out. He outbraked himself and now he's got all that hard work to do again, but Holstein now losing the back end. Polesny is alongside and through into 4th place. So he leaves Holstein behind. He now sets his sights on Michael Schmiedl. Schmiedl is 3.1 seconds ahead, but already Polesny has taken a little bit out of that. That's an awfully big gap that he's got to close up, but he has still got plenty of race left to do it. You can see that Wojtek Polesny is concentrating so hard in the Munich lounge. There's some great camera shots that give you a real sense of the action, looking ahead, looking behind, and looking at the driver as he turns into the corner, being careful to hit all the apexes just right, because one slip and he will lose that 4th place. Across the start-finish line onto the pit straight he comes. Enrique Marinon in 9th place, still tracking Roger Marta. This feels like a battle that has been going on for ages and it's still yet to be settled. Through the speed trap, recording 337.3 kph, Enrique Marinon continues to track Roger Marta. Up ahead of them, it's Ivan Kaufman. And this is Enrique Marinon's view at Curva Biasono. Looking back at Enrique Marinon, and you can see once again he is trying so hard as he hits all of the apexes and tries to track down Roger Marta. He is within striking distance. The clock says 0.233, but that is changing on every corner. Now Marinon closes up on Roger Marta. He picks up a slipstream towards Curva de Seraglio and heading into Variante Ascari. This is a great overtaking opportunity, but it's also the place where it's so easy to get it wrong. Marinon still tracking Roger Marta. In towards Curva Parabolica they come. Our focus very much on Enrique Marinon in 9th place. Roger Marta just ahead of him. Marta tries to break the toe. They head in towards that parabolica. And Marinon goes slightly wide. It drops him back before they can exit onto the pit straight. So Marinon is just a little bit too far back to pick up an advantage of a slipstream. So in towards the chicane of turn 1 once again. On the right hand side of the picture, Michael Schmidl continuing in third place as he has done for much of the race. On the left hand side of the screen, Roger Marte with Marinon filling his mirrors. Marte continues to hold on to P8. Schmidl continues to hold on to P3. Even Kaufmann in P7 is no doubt delighted by the fight that's going on behind him, because as long as Roger Marte is holding off Enrique Marinon and the two of them are fighting, it allows him to break just a little bit clear, and that gap is up to 1.7 seconds between 7th place and 8th place. It's lap 9 of this 23-lap race here at Monza, and it's Alejandro Sanchez who continues to lead. The fight for 8th place has been hugely compelling. Roger Marte and Enrique Marinon running as one on the circuit as they head once again in towards the Curva Parabolica. Dave Ladomada has made progress. He's up into 12th place. We're looking at the gap between the first and second, 2.633 between Sanchez and Lopez, so we'll keep an eye on that and see whether Lopez can do anything about it. But Sanchez has been out the front for the whole of this race and just seems to be controlling it from the front. Again, Enrique Marinon having a little bit of an adventure coming out of the first chicane, and that allows Roger Marte to just pull out a little bit of a gap. Once again though, Marinon is going to close in under braking. It's like the piano accordion. 1 minute the gap is big, the next minute the gap closes up again. Enrique Marinon tracking through the corner, still staring at the back of Roger Marte. Even Kaufmann just opening up the gap a little in 7th place. Again, Marinon trying to pick up a slipstream as they head towards the chicane. A different line into the chicane. And now this is Devin Isgro. You can see him on the right hand side of your picture. He is in 14th place. He is tracking down Mike Danner. A little over 0.3 of a second separate them as they head under the bridge and towards Variante Ascari, which makes up turns 8, 9 and 10. And now it's towards Curva Parabolica, the fastest corner on the circuit. They head in towards it. Danner on the brakes, but Isgro not close enough to do anything at the moment. Now, can he stay close through the Parabolica, come out onto the pit straight and pick up a slipstream as they head towards turn 1 and the Variante de Retifilia. Isgro is closing in on Danner. Here they go, flat out, the fastest part of the circuit. He moves to the outside. Danner goes to shut the door. The two cars make contact. And Devin Isgro still can't get through. Mike Danner somehow keeping it pointing all in the right direction. Devin Isgro in P14. And now Angelo Michel is also getting involved. This is a three-way fight. Mike Danner in 13th. Isgro is past though. Devin Isgro finds that route past. Now Angelo Michel is making the challenge on Mike Danner. Into the corner they come, and it's Danner who goes spinning into the gravel trap. Moritz Lerner has a grandstand view of all of that, and he takes 15th place, says, I'll be having that, thank you very much. Alejandro Sanchez continues to set the fastest lap, a 1:18.771 at the front. He's opened up the gap to 3.166 over Coque Lopez. We're a little over halfway in this race. It has been drama all of the way. On the left-hand side of your screens, Enrique Marinon in 9th place with Kevin Abe for company. And on the right-hand screen, we're riding with Moritz Lerner, and he is in 15th place. Alejandro Sanchez continues to lead, but we've got a message from race control. It looks like there may be a penalty awarded.
We have 2 penalties for driver Kevin Abe from Kemptal. Once 10-second time penalty for causing a collision and leaving the track and gaining an advantage in lap 1, and once 5-second time penalty for lap 3, turn 2, causing a collision. Total 15 seconds time penalty for Kevin Abe.
So a 15-second time penalty for Kevin Aby. That is very significant indeed, and that is going to hit him hard. Kevin Aby currently in 10th place. We saw both of the incidents that have caused that controversy. The stewards have clearly taken a long, hard look at it, and the net result is that 15-second penalty. This is Dominik Dedic. He is in the Zurich lounge, and he is currently racing in 11th place on lap 13. In towards turn 11, which is the Curva Parabolica, soon to be renamed the Curva Michele Alboreto, and out on to the pit straight. Dominik Dedic in P11, Kevin Aby, remember, with that time penalty, and behind is Dave Ladamada in 12th place. The timing screen says Dedic is 4/10 behind Kevin Aby, but you can see he has closed right in, and Kevin Aby is now coming under increasing pressure from Dominik Dedic. At a Curva Grande they come, turn 3, and then it's a hard dash up towards the next chicane, the second Variante, braking to the left, to the right, then back on the power towards turn 6. The series of Lesmo corners, that's Lesmo 1, and now we're heading up towards Lesmo 2. And then we're on to the Curva de Seraglio, that high-speed part of the circuit, which creates so many good overtaking opportunities into Variante Ascari. Here we are, Variante Ascari, a quick left, a right, and a left again. And Dominik Dedic still staring at the back at Kevin Aby, up towards Curva Parabolica once again. And Dedic looks a little to the inside, but he's still too far back. Now this high-speed corner, the Curva Parabolica, turn 11, out onto the pit straight once again. And still, Dominik Dedic just too far back to do anything about Kevin Aby. Now they head back into the Prima Variante de Rettifilia, to give it its correct name. And both drivers negotiate that chicane perfectly. So it's still advantage Kevin Aby from Dominik Dedic in the fight for 10th place. Right, we've got some news coming through, and we think the race stewards have been looking at another incident. So let's hear what race control have to say.
We have a 10-second time penalty for driver Michael Schmiedl driving in Munich for an incident in lap 1, turn 1, leaving the track and gaining an advantage. 10-second time penalty for Michael Schmiedl.
Wow, that one's gonna hurt. So Michael Schmiedl, a 10-second penalty for that incident on lap 1, where he left the track and rejoined in an unsafe manner, according to the stewards, and that's going to be really hard for the championship leader. Just to remind you that Alejandro Sanchez is just behind him in the points championship, and if he goes on to win this race, which is looking fairly likely at the moment, he is going to close in on Michael Schmiedl at the top of the points table. So Michael Schmiedl needs to get a move on, because that time penalty is going to drop him a long way down the order. The race stewards have clearly been taking their time over this decision. They want to get it right, because it all happened on lap 1, and here we are well over halfway through the race before the penalty is awarded. So it's Alejandro Sanchez who leads 3.6 seconds from Koke Lopez. Michael Schmiedl in 3rd place. Then it's Wojtek Polesny, Christoph Holstein in 5th place, ahead of Loris Mistretta and Roger Marta. Enrique Marinan, the driver who started 2nd on the grid, is down in P8 ahead of Ivan Kaufmann, Kevin Aby and Dominik Dedic, and that is the battle we're looking at the moment. Kevin Aby and Dominik Dedic circulating as one on lap 15 of 23 on the race 8 of Racing Unleashed here at Monza. And of course, from here we head to Mugello on the 21st of November before the season closer at a surprise track in December. Right, we've got news of another penalty from race control.
10-second time penalty for driver Devin Iskro driving in Kemptal for causing a collision in lap 1, turn 4. 10-second time penalty for Devin Iskro.
So the stewards still looking at all the drama that unfolded on lap 1 of this race. This time it's Devin Iskro who has been adjudged to have caused that collision that we saw at the beginning of the race, and he receives a 10-second penalty. He's down in 13th place at the moment, and any meaningful points are now looking very, very difficult to obtain from all the way back there with that penalty as well. You can see Devin Isgro, it looked also promising at the start of this event. Now he has Angelo Michael behind him and Moritz Lerner also just in the distance. So for Devin Isgro, it's going to be just a case of doing all that he can to work his way forwards, but he goes wide again and Angelo Michael comes sailing through, so his day is going from bad to worse. Devin Isgro now down to P14. He heads along the Curva del Seraglio towards Variante Ascari to try and retake that position, but Angelo Michael is through and gone. Now Moritz Lerner in the background is closing in on Devin Isgro. So it's Michael in 13th, Isgro in 14th and Lerner in 15th. In the distance, Schulter in 16th place, but he really is not a threat to these three at the moment. Of course, all the drivers are in the racing lounges around the world in these wonderful chassis. A great view that you have there. Devin Isgro in P14, Angelo Michael just ahead. Once again, they circulate around the Variante di Rettifilia chicane, the area that has caused so much controversy already in today's race. Right, look at this on the right-hand side of your screen. Mikael Schmidl has caught up with Coque Lopez for second place. This is hugely significant. So, Schmidl just 0.7 of a second behind Coque Lopez. Now, will this give Lopez a bit of a hurry up and will he start to open that gap up again? It opens up to about 8.5 tenths. But there's also drama further back. Roger Marte is coming under pressure from Marinon. So Enrique Marinon has caught up with the 7th place Roger Marte and along the pit straight they come. So Enrique Marinon closer than ever for that 7th place. In towards the chicane they come, under braking. Marinon looks to the inside. He decides discretion is the better part of valour. Locks up a tyre going into the chicane and ducks back in behind Marta. Now in towards Curva Grande they come. Marta still holding on from Enrique Marinon. Marinon looks to the inside. Up towards the second Variante chicane. Under braking. And still Marta has that position. Enrique Marinon now looking very, very eager, heading up to Lesmo 1. You can see the concentration. Enrique Marinon giving it everything he's got. He's hunting down Roger Marta along Curva de Seraglio, and further back it looks like Dave Ladamada has found a route past Dominic Dedic. In fact, Dedic is dropping like a stone, so he's clearly got problems further back. Our focus still on this battle. Enrique Marinon challenging Roger Marte. Heading towards Curva Parabolica. He looks to the inside, ducks back in. This is the high-speed corner, but now he should be able to pick up a slipstream as they head onto the pit straight. He maybe went a little bit too early to the inside. He looks inside, he looks outside. It's still Enrique Marinon challenging Roger Marta. He ducks to the outside into the chicane, under braking. Surely he's not going to be able to get past there. He doesn't. A little lock up of the brakes. And still Roger Marte holds on to that 7th place. Marinon is tucked up under his rear wing as they head towards second Variante. And now they're running side by side. Briefly, Marinon is shown in front, but it's still Roger Marte who holds on to that 7th place. How much longer can he hold on to this level of pressure? Heading now towards Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. Roger Marte still with Enrique Marinon tracking his every move. Now we run towards Curva del Seraglio and up towards Variante Ascari. And once again, we are coming into the quickest part of the track. This will be Marinon's best opportunity to get past Roger Marta. How much longer can Marte hold him off? You can see Marinon tucked in under his rear wing into Curva Parabolica once again. And out onto the pit straight they come. Roger Marta leading the way. He drives to the middle of the track. Marinon just a little bit too far back to pick up a slipstream at this point. He looks to the inside in towards Variante de Retafilio, and still Marte is in front, and Marinon continues to track his every move into Curva Grande once again, flat out, and then it will be heavy braking at second Variante, the Variante de la Roggia, to give it its full title. You can see from the speed trap, 367.1 kilometers an hour. These cars are absolutely rattling around the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza here for this race. Race 8 of the season. The battle for second place is still on as well. Coque Lopez from Michael Schmiedl. Don't forget that Schmiedl is carrying that 10-second penalty that was awarded from the lap 1 incident, and Coque Lopez continues to hold him off. Alejandro Sanchez, well, he is just a dot in the distance. His lead has been extended, and Lopez has Schmiedl for company. Polsny in 4th place, running a little further back, with Holstein just behind him, but we're keeping an eye on Michael Schmiedl now. He's in 3rd place. He would dearly love to get past Coque Lopez in 2nd. He hasn't got a great deal of time though. The race is very much into the closing stages. We're keeping our eyes on the left and on the right. On the left is Roger Marte, with Marinon hounding him all the way, and on the right hand side is Lopez with Schmiedl. So Coque Lopez, he's held on to 2nd place for so long. Schmiedl carrying the penalty, desperate to get past and into that 2nd place. Schmiedl is running under the bridge. The old oval track is just up above him, and into Variante Ascari once again. So Lopez doing everything that he needs to do to keep Schmiedl behind. Schmiedl tucked up behind him. The battle on the left-hand side sees Roger Marte just breaking clear of Enrique Marinon for a moment, and the gap has just opened up slightly, but Marinon has been on a charge and clearly hasn't given up yet. So Enrique Marinon still with Roger Marte in his sights. In the background is Ivan Kaufmann. And here we go again, the battle for second place, and look at Schmiedl, left, right, trying every which way he can to get past Lopez in front, but still Coque Lopez is holding on to that 2nd place. He's 5.416 seconds behind the leader Alejandro Sanchez, but the fight for 2nd is not over yet. Lopez and Schmiedl carrying the penalty, but still wants to get past on the track. Coque Lopez doing everything right to hold off the Schmiedl machine that is behind. He's got less than 2 laps in which to do it, and Schmiedl is surely going to throw everything at trying to get past Lopez. A long Curva de Seraglio once again, and you can see Schmiedl just staring ahead of him, his eyes fixed on the target that's up ahead. You can see the rear view mirror as well. A quick glance by Michael Schmiedl to see that nobody is behind him before his last challenge on Coque Lopez, because time is running out on this race. Alejandro Sanchez has started his final lap already. Coque Lopez and Michael Schmiedl now cross the line to start their final lap. So, Schmiedl, is he going to be able to find a route past Coque Lopez into Variante de Retafilio for the very last time? Lopez doing all that he needs to do. Possibly Schmiedl has run out of ideas. Now up towards Curva Grande, and it's flat out towards Variante del Roggia, the 2nd Variante, which is the 2nd chicane of the lap. While all this has been going on, Dominik Dedic has visited the pits. It looks like he's retired from the race. So Dominik Dedic ends a miserable day here at Monza in the pit lane. Not so for Coque Lopez. He's looking good for 2nd place, because don't forget Michael Schmiedl is also carrying that 10-second time penalty that was awarded earlier on. But our leader, Alejandro Sanchez, some 5.5 seconds up the road, is now on the last part of the last lap, and he just has to complete this final corner, the Curva Parabolica. Out of the Parabolica he comes. He will see the checkered flag in front of him, and it's Alejandro Sanchez who wins race 8 here from Monza. The fight for second place continues. It's Coque Lopez from Michael Schmiedl. Lopez crossing the line ahead with Schmiedl in third, but of course he will have that penalty applied, which will drop him well down the order. And this is Roger Marta in 7th place. He's held off Enrique Marinon for lap after lap, and he crosses the line 7th place. Ahead of him, Loris Mistretta, Christoph Holstein and Wojtek Polesny in 4th place. Here comes Dave Ladamada. He is just behind Kevin Aby. Ivan Kaufman in 9th place. So Ladamada across the line, and then behind him it'll be Angelo Michael, then Moritz Lerner in 13th, and in 14th place this man here, Devin Isgro. After a lively race, he comes home in that 14th place. Then it's Nick Schulte-Wiesemann, followed by Mike Danner, and then Besnik Matezi in 17th place. The last of the runners, Fabio Undervus, the guest starter, is into the Curva Parabolica. We can see him in the Munich Racing Lounge, and he crosses the line in 18th place to finish the race. Great job. And here's our winner, Alejandro Sanchez.
Congratulations, Alejandro. That was an amazing race from you. We didn't see you a lot on the stream because you were just managing it too well and didn't get under pressure at all. How happy are you with your result?
I'm quite happy. Very happy with my pace, and I was able to just take T1 cleanly and not get into too much trouble. And it was just a matter of not making any mistakes during the race and keeping always a safety margin, because I had a tendency to spin in practice, so I tried to avoid that by keeping little margin, but I was pretty constant, so I'm happy with the pace and with the race.
You said you were managing, but still you were doing such fast lap times. Did you just get into your rhythm now, or what was your thing that you did better than anyone else?
I think I was really constant and I didn't make too many mistakes. I think I overshot the braking zone twice or something like that, and I lost like 2/10. But other than that, it was pretty much fine. I was just braking a bit earlier and taking it a bit easier overall.
Yeah, and also that was not only the victory of the race, but also a victory regarding the championship, because Schmiedl, he got a 10-second penalty, so he will be even further back. We will see where he ends up finally, but still, you gained a lot of points and also regained the lead in the championship. How do you feel about your 2 remaining races?
I'm quite happy with that. It would just be a matter of keeping it safe and securing points for the last 2 races, because I don't know how the gap will be now, but I think it will be like 10, 12 points maybe, something like that. I haven't really calculated it, but I will have the calculator always in my mind.
All right. Once again, thank you for joining us. Also, congratulations for that amazing performance. That was really good to see, and hopefully you will enjoy your happy Sunday.
Thank you very much.
So here is the official result from race 8 at Monza. Alejandro Sanchez coming home in a distant first place. Second, Coque Lopez. Third place, Wojtek Polesny. After that, penalty is applied to Michael Schmiedl. Then Christoph Holstein in 4th place, ahead of Loris Mistretta in 5th. Michael Schmiedl, having applied the 10-second penalty, is down in 6th place ahead of Roger Marte in 7th. Enrique Marinon, a good comeback to P8. And then it's Ivan Kaufman in 9th ahead of Dave Ladamada. 11th, Angelo Michael and Moritz Lerner in 12th. Kevin Aby in 13th. Nicky Schultz-Wiesemann in 14th and Mike Danner 15th. A penalty drops Devin Isgro to 16th ahead of Besnik Matezi, Fabio Unvadrus and Dominik Dedic, who pulled into the pit lane and records a DNF. Of course, the most significant part of that result was the penalty applied to Michael Schmiedl. This is the view from Christoph Holstein of the start, and you can see that Michael Schmiedl comes through on the outside. He's carrying too much speed. He doesn't make the chicane and shortcuts out in front on the track, and that is why that penalty was applied. Here, though, is the 1-2-3 in this race. Alejandro Sanchez, a dominant display to take the win ahead of Coque Lopez, and Wojtek Polesny inheriting 3rd place after the Schmiedl penalty was applied. A thoroughly entertaining race here. Round 8 from Monza, and the championship is very, very much alive. Alejandro Sanchez jumps to the top of the Racers League with 121 points. Michael Schmiedl is relegated to second with 110, and Wojtek Polesny is third with 67. It was Alvaro Aznar, Dominic Dedic, Koke Lopez and Christoph Holstein rounding out the top 7, followed by Enrique Marinon, Ivan Kaufmann and Devin Iskro, who round out the top 10. With round 8 from Monza done and dusted, our eyes now turn to the next round, and we head to the mighty Mugello on the 21st of November. We're heading to Tuscany for the 5.2 kilometre circuit that has 14 turns, and that is going to be a real challenge for the drivers. A very different kind of circuit to Monza, lots of undulation, very, very fast, and of course Ferrari's home ground for many, many years. After that, it will be the final round and the championship decider at the surprise track. The question is, will Alejandro Sanchez be able to hold on to that points lead, or will Michael Schmiedl come steaming back after what has been a very disappointing day for him? That 10-second penalty that he earned on lap 1 at the first chicane really hit him hard and dropped him down the order, and as a result, he's lost a lot of points to his main championship rivals. Round 8 of the Racing Unleashed competition 2021 here from Monza has been pure entertainment all the way. This historic circuit has not let us down. The drivers have fought all the way up and down the grid, and we have been truly entertained. But the final mention must go to Alejandro Sanchez. He did all the work in qualifying to start from pole position, and he led every lap of this race. Really entertaining. Credit to all the drivers, and our thanks to everybody for entertaining us here from Monza. We can't wait to see how this championship is going to unfold from here as we head to Mugello. From our casters Nico and Manuel, and from myself, we say thank you for joining us. We'll see you in Mugello. Bye bye.
Welcome to Racing Unleashed.
A Racing Unleashed competition.
And if all the cars make it through turn number 1, I'll be amazed. Side by side into the turn. Who will come out in front?
Dann geht's wild zur Sache. Unglaublich.
Was war das für ein Rennen?
This is Racing Unleashed.